In a quiet corner of the city, where the hustle and bustle seemed to fade away, a brown Labrador named Bagger was left behind one calm afternoon. He watched as his owner's car disappeared down the road, his eyes filled with a mixture of confusion and fear. Bagger was alone, bewildered in a world that had suddenly turned its back on him. For days he waited in that exact spot, a loyal vigil fueled by a fading hope that his owner would return. But as the sun set each day, the darkness brought only the sounds of distant barking and the rumble of strange cars. Hunger gnawed at him, forcing him to rummage through trash bins for scraps. Bagger would wander through the crowded streets, a shadow in a world of indifferent people. No one gave him a second glance. Even those who seemed to love dogs would quickly look away, repulsed by his increasingly pitiful state. He was met with annoyed glares and sometimes even stones thrown from a distance. "Get lost, you miserable creature," became the harsh refrain of his new life. Slowly, Bagger began to waste away. His beautiful brown coat, once so vibrant, became a matted mess of grey fur, caked with dust and grime. His spirit, once so full of life, was slowly being extinguished by the cruelty of the streets. One rainy day, Bagger sought refuge under the awning of a shop, his body trembling uncontrollably from the cold and an emptiness that went deeper than hunger. He lay there, a broken creature, his eyes mirroring the grey, weeping sky. It felt as though all hope had finally washed away, but then a figure appeared through the downpour. An elderly woman named Roma Davy was making her way down the deserted street. Many years had passed since her husband's death, and with her only son living far away in another country, loneliness had become her closest companion. As she walked, her eyes fell upon the soaking wet dog, curled into a tight ball. She saw the tears welling in his eyes, and her heart ached with an instant, profound empathy. She paused, her gaze fixed on the trembling animal. Slowly, carefully, she approached him. Bagger flinched, expecting the usual scorn, but as he looked into Roma Davy's eyes, he saw something different. There was no annoyance, no disgust, only a deep, gentle compassion that seemed to radiate from her. Roma Davy reached into her shawl and pulled out a small packet of biscuits. She held one out to him. Bagger hesitated, his past experiences making him wary, but the overwhelming pang of hunger won out. He cautiously took the biscuit and ate it. From that day forward, Roma Davy became a constant presence in Bagger's life. She would visit him every day, bringing food and a kind word. Bagger, in turn, began to recognize her gentle footsteps and the warmth in her voice. An unspoken, invisible bond began to form between the lonely woman and the abandoned dog. One day, Roma Davy found the courage to do what her heart had been telling her to do all along. She gently coaxed Bagger to follow her, and together they walked towards her home. For the very first time since being abandoned, Bagger stepped into a warm, safe space where he was not an outcast. He was home. Roma Davy lovingly bathed him, washing away not just the dirt and grime, but also the pain and neglect of the past weeks. She cared for him with a tenderness he had almost forgotten, treating him like her own beloved child. Bagar, in return, brought a light back into Roma Davy's life that had been dim for far too long. Her lonely days were suddenly filled with the joy of playing with him, the comfort of his presence, and the simple pleasure of stroking his soft fur. Her quiet home was now filled with life and laughter. Forgetting all the heartache he had endured, Bagar showered Roma Davy with unwavering love and devotion. He was her shadow, her guardian, and her most faithful friend. Together, Bagar and Roma Davy created a new life out of the fragments of their old ones. Their story is a beautiful testament to the power of love and compassion, proving that a second chance can transform a life in the most wonderful ways. It's a story of a lost soul finding his final shelter and a lonely heart finding a reason to love again. Thank you for watching. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe for more content that celebrates the incredible bond between humans and animals.